Good morning, my dear students. Our today's topic is comparative development experiences of India and its neighbors. Over the last 2 decades or so, the economic transformation that is taking place in different countries across the world, partly because of the process of globalization, has both short as well as long term implications for each country, including India. In this chapter, we will compare the developmental strategies pursued by India and the largest two of its neighboring economies, Pakistan and China. India, Pakistan, and China have similar physical endowments but totally different political systems. India has the largest democracy of the world, which is wedded to a secular and deeply liberal constitution. Pakistan has militarist political power structure and China has the command economy. Recently, Pakistan started moving towards a democratic system and China towards more liberal economic restructuring. India, China, and Pakistan have similarities in their developmental strategies. All the three nations started towards their development path at the same time. While India and Pakistan became independent nations in 1947, People's Republic of China was established in 1949. All the three countries had started planning their developmental strategies in similar ways. While India announced its first 5 year plan in 1951, Pakistan announced its first 5 year plan, now called the Medium Term Development Plan, in 1956. China announced its first 5 year plan in 1953. India and Pakistan adopted similar strategies such as creating a large public sector and raising public expenditure on social development. Till the 1980s, all the three countries had similar growth rates and per capita incomes. Historical path of development policies in China. After the establishment of People's Republic of China under one-party rule, all critical sectors of the economy, enterprises and lands owned and operated by individuals were brought under government control. The Great Leap Forward campaign, initiated in 1958, aimed at industrializing the country on a massive scale. People were encouraged to set up industries in their backyards. In rural areas, communes were started. Under the commune system, people collectively cultivated lands. GLF campaign met with many problems. A severe drought caused havoc in China, killing about 30 million people. When Russia had conflicts with China, it withdrew its professionals who had earlier been sent to China to help in the industrialization process. In 1965, Mao introduced the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution, under which students and professionals were sent to work and learn from the countryside. Path of developmental initiatives taken by Pakistan. Pakistan follows the mixed economy model with coexistence of public and private sectors. In the late 1950s and 60s, Pakistan introduced the variety of a regulated policy framework for import substitution based industrialization. The policy combined tariff protection for manufacturing of consumer goods together with the direct import controls on competing imports. The introduction of Green Revolution led to mechanization and increase in public investment in infrastructure in selected areas, which finally led to a rise in the production of food grains. This changed the agrarian structure dramatically. In 1970s, nationalization of capital goods industries took place. Pakistan then shifted its policy orientation in 1980s when the major thrust areas were denationalization and encouragement of private sector. During this period, Pakistan also received financial support from the Western nations and remittance from continuously increasing outflow of emigrants to the Middle East. This helped the country in stimulating economic growth. The government at that time also offered incentive to the private sector. In 1988, economic reforms were initiated in the country. Demographic indicators of India, China, and Pakistan. China has the highest population, closely followed by India. If we look at the global population, out of every 6 persons living in this world, one is an Indian and another is a Chinese. The population of Pakistan is very small and accounts for roughly about 1/10 of China or India. Though China is the largest nation among the three, its density is the lowest. The population growth is the highest in Pakistan, followed by India and China. Scholars point out the one-child norm introduced in China in the late 1970s as the major reason for low population growth, which also led to decline in the sex ratio. The sex ratio is low and biased against females in all three countries. Preference of son prevailing in all these countries is the reason for low sex ratio. In recent times, all three countries are adopting various measures to improve the situation. One-child norm and the resultant arrest in the growth of population also have other implications. For instance, after a few decades in China, there will be more elderly people in proportion to young people. This led China to allow couples to have 2 children. The fertility rate is also low in China and very high in Pakistan. Development of India, China, and Pakistan with respect to indicators of human development. China is moving ahead of India and Pakistan. This is true for many indicators of human development. Income indicators such as GDP per capita, proportion of population below poverty line, etc. Health indicators such as mortality rate, access to sanitation, literacy rate, etc. Pakistan is ahead of India in reducing proportion of people below poverty line and also its performance in sanitation. Neither of these two countries, India and Pakistan, have been able to save women from maternal mortality. In China, for 1 lakh births, only 27 women die, whereas in India and Pakistan, about 178 and 174 women die respectively. Various factors that led to the rapid growth in economic development in China. Establishment of infrastructure in the areas of education and health, land reforms, long existence of decentralized planning, and existence of small enterprises helped positively in improving the social and income indicators in the post-reform period. Through the commune system, there was more equitable distribution of food grains. Each reform measure first implemented at a smaller level and then extended on a massive scale. The experimentation under decentralized government enabled it to assess the economic, social, and political cost of success or failure. Reasons for slow growth and re-emergence of poverty in Pakistan. Agricultural growth and food supply situation were based not on industrialized process of technical change but on good harvest. When there was a good harvest, the economy was in good condition. When it was not, the economic indicators showed stagnation or negative trends. In Pakistan, most foreign exchange earnings came from remittance from Pakistani workers in the Middle East and exports of highly volatile agricultural products. If a country is able to build up its foreign exchange earnings by sustainable export of manufactured goods, it need not worry. There was also growing dependence on foreign loans and on one hand and increasing difficulty in paying back the loans on the other. However, during the last few years, Pakistan has recovered its economic growth and has been sustaining. In 2015-16, the annual plan 2016-17 reports that The GDP registered growth of 4.7%, highest when compared to previous 8 years. During the reforms, India performed moderately, but a majority of its people still depend on agriculture. Infrastructure is lacking in many parts of the country. It is yet to raise the level of living of more than one-fourth of its population that lives below poverty line. Scholars are of the opinion that political instability, overdependence on remittance and foreign aid along with the volatile performance of agriculture sector are the reasons for slowdown of the Pakistan economy. In China, the lack of political freedom and its implications for human rights are major concerns. Yet in the last 3 decades, it used the market system without losing political commitment and succeeded in raising the level of growth along with alleviation of poverty. Unlike India and Pakistan, which are attempting to privatize their public sector enterprises, China has used the market mechanism to create additional social and economic opportunities. By retaining collective ownership of land and allowing individuals to cultivate land, China has ensured social security in rural areas. Public intervention in providing social infrastructure even prior to reforms has brought about positive result in human development indicators of China. Thank you.